Before we dive into today's powerful and eye-opening story, we invite you to be part of the NewsDecoded community. If you value truthful reporting, deep insights, and no-nonsense storytelling, be sure to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and join the conversation in the comments below. Your engagement helps our voice reach further, and we're just getting started. Let's begin. It was a moment many didn't see coming, and one that Donald Trump himself may not forget anytime soon. The setting? The highly anticipated FIFA Club World Cup final hosted at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. This international football, soccer as it's called in the United States, spectacle had all the fanfare you'd expect. Big teams, packed stands, roaring crowds. But amidst the global celebration of sport, a different type of roar echoed through the stadium.
It was something, honestly. You could feel the shift in the air, like everyone was waiting for something big, but not quite this.
As former President Donald Trump stepped onto the field for the trophy presentation, the response from the audience was swift, loud, and unmistakable. A chorus of boos. Not just a few voices. This was a wave of vocal disapproval, broadcast across social platforms and global media alike. From the very moment Trump appeared, during the national anthem no less, he was met with disapproval. Camera crews panned over the crowd as he stood beside FIFA President Gianni Infantino, another figure who isn't exactly beloved by all. The stadium's energy shifted palpably as booing intensified. It was so prominent that the live jumbotron quickly cut away from Trump, redirecting the feed to less controversial scenes. And it didn't stop there. Later, during the trophy ceremony, Chelsea having just defeated Paris Saint Germain with a decisive 3-0 victory, Trump returned to the field. Once again, the stadium erupted with rejection. Videos from multiple angles began surfacing online, each capturing the sheer volume and intensity of the crowd's reaction. This wasn't just a few disgruntled attendees. It was a stadium full of voices unified in their discontent. People waved, shouted, some even displayed gestures of disapproval. In short, it was clear, this wasn't Trump's crowd. What made the moment all the more jarring was that Trump, a man once so deeply entwined with crowd dynamics and public rallies, seemed caught off guard. It was a stark contrast to the enthusiastic support he often references at his own events.
I've covered a lot of matches and a lot of politicians, but I haven't seen anything quite like that. The boos just kept coming. You know, it was relentless.
Onlookers shared their reactions online in real time. Some were gleeful, calling the moment hilarious and satisfying. Others described the boos as deafening. The hashtags began to trend #FIFA Club World Cup, #Trump booed, and others that captured the collective mood of the moment. Even Trump's close allies struggled to spin the narrative. Stephen Chung, a longtime media strategist for Trump, attempted to salvage the situation by posting a sanitized image of Trump attending the game. But it didn't take long for critics, including public officials like California Governor Gavin Newsom, to fire back.
Newsom made a sharp observation, pointing out how Trump had the time to attend a soccer match while over 5,000 US troops remained stationed on American soil, with little public explanation. The implication was clear misplaced priorities.
And this wasn't the only eyebrow-raising appearance by GOP figures that weekend. Senator J.D. Vance, another Trump ally, was spotted enjoying himself at Disneyland in California. Yes, Disneyland. While parts of the country deal with natural disasters, political unrest, and policy failures, some of their most vocal leaders appeared more focused on amusement parks and soccer games. Meanwhile, in Kerr County, Texas, a deadly flood had recently claimed numerous lives. Critics were quick to note that Trump made only a brief appearance in response to the tragedy, before leaving and at one point referring to those questioning the federal response as evil or losers. The optics were, to say the least, damaging. But let's return to the stadium. Among those seated nearby during the match was none other than Melania Trump. Observers noted what appeared to be a casual gathering, possibly even celebratory, as many Americans continued grappling with unanswered questions around topics like the infamous Epstein case.
Trump, notably, has dismissed the so-called Epstein list as non-existent, triggering even more controversy. That denial, in fact, may have consequences.
Ghislaine Maxwell, currently serving a prison sentence for her role in Epstein's trafficking ring, is now reportedly considering legal action. Her argument: if there is no list and no official acknowledgement of others involved, then why is she the only one paying the price? Even Prince Andrew, a once silent figure in this scandal, has reportedly been given clearance by the FBI to travel to the US again, a detail that's left many deeply unsettled.
Meanwhile, in the world of Trump-adjacent influencers, Alex Jones, one of Trump's most vocal supporters, had an emotional public breakdown. Found liable for defamation in multiple court cases, Jones too appears to be unraveling, caught between lawsuits, financial collapse, and diminishing credibility. The backlash against Trump has even extended into MAGA circles. At a recent right-wing conference hosted by Turning Point USA in Tampa, conservative media personality Laura Ingraham was booed by the audience after asking for applause over Trump's handling of the Epstein matter. She awkwardly urged the audience to clap, only to be met with dead silence and vocal dissent.
These moments, seemingly small on their own, collectively reflect a broader shift. Even among groups that once stood firmly behind Trump, cracks are beginning to show. Discontent over mishandled investigations, lack of transparency, and controversial public appearances are adding up.
Trump's attempts to reassert control over the narrative, like his appearance on a soft interview platform hosted by his daughter-in-law Lara Trump, come across as forced and overly rehearsed. During that interview, he was asked how he sees potential in people others might overlook. His answer? He sees it especially in women, a statement that, under the weight of multiple accusations and legal judgments against him, felt unsettling to many. And here lies the core of the issue. This isn't about a soccer game. It isn't even just about booze at a stadium. It's about a growing reckoning, one playing out in real time across courtrooms, media interviews, and public gatherings. What we're witnessing is a collective reevaluation of accountability, leadership, and trust. The booing at MetLife Stadium wasn't an isolated incident. It was a reflection, a loud, public, unmistakable signal that something fundamental has shifted in the American public's relationship with its political figures.
And in this case, the message was delivered not through a vote or a tweet, but through the raw and unfiltered voices of everyday people in the stands of a global sporting event. Whatever comes next, one thing is certain. The crowd has spoken, and the echoes of that moment will linger far beyond the final whistle.
Thanks for watching. If you appreciate this level of independent reporting, join the News Decoded community by subscribing, hitting like, and leaving your thoughts down in the comments. Your voice matters here, and together, we decode the headlines that matter. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and stay bold.